don't need to memorize things, so I did not. So I wrote a little opening speech. First of all, thank you for being here. So, hi, my name is Kade Leous. I'm the writer and director tonight, and I welcome you interims to Interim. My movement coach, Jenny Lamb, said, we don't make art when it's easy. We make it because we have to. Artists are soothsayers. Though soothsaying isn't exactly what I would call this production, I think the sentiment is the same, though. Even silly art has meaning. This story is meant to be pretty silly, and I hope you take the time to allow yourselves to get lost in the ridiculousness of it, lost in the tender, the dread, the confusion, the ire, all the science fiction, techno-babble nonsense. I thank you for your presence and for lending your time to us telling this far-off tale. Just as a warning, we are recording this production. This production will have a ton of swearing, some violence against animals, inappropriate jokes, a little sexism, violence against a single teenager, a minor reference to self-harm, and more swearing. Please remember to turn off your cell phones. There is no reception in space. You will not need it, I promise you. The emergency exits are right there. Mary Rose, is there another?
You could go through there, but then you'd go down a hallway to approximately the same place.
So you should probably just exit right there.
Unless you're very close to over there.
There is water. There is coffee and snacks that you can definitely get.
Not a lot of snacks, but there's also tea.
This is true.
And you can come see me if you need a hot chocolate packet.
Each act is about 40 minutes. It was extended for the theatrical performance, and there will be a 10-minute intermission. So I thank you for lending me your time for tonight, lending all of us your time, and seeing this production. So thank you so much.
Take a moment for the frequency to solidify. Fade up on a brilliant starry sky, an enormous city inside a glass dome out in the abyss. We zoom in, past the star scrapers, and towards a smaller than average building with walkways connecting it to other buildings above like a spider's web. Superimposed titles. Place, Epiphany Station in the Salos 372 system. Interior, Itiluous Bio Paint Factory, night. The music becomes diegetic and static over the radio. We move past the doors, into a back room, and below to the boiler room. 4 figures are spread around a dim boiler room near a mounted radio and a pile of discarded mechanic jumpsuits. Nyx, 25, squats under the cone of a small flashlight, a large fern green orc with pink Windsor glasses, yellow accents of makeup under his eyes and tusk teeth, a black biker jacket over a jumpsuit and tool belt, and a large wrist communicator. He flips open a metal box, intricately connected with tiny wires, a poorly assembled explosive device currently being armed. Next to Nyx is Crescent, 22, a green, faint-glowing humanoid slime, a glow-stick cowboy plucked right from the farm, with spurred boots, a mostly white button-up, and an embroidered poncho. He sits on a crate with a shovel slung across his back, scouring the room behind both is Helius, 16? A young gap-toothed teen with a bandana around their neck, a long black sleeve, and a black backpack. Their alert demeanor shows the reality of the situation that no one else seems to exist in. Lastly, we see Madi-Xi, mid-20s, a discontented and irritated navigations officer with long, dark blonde hair. As the sounds of an exhaust fan circle above with cascading ice echo throughout the boiler room, Madi-Xi glares at Nyx's bomb.
You're not supposed to disarm it.
Is that what it looks like I'm doing? Stop moving the flashlight.
I saw you watch that janky tutorial on the ship.
No, that wasn't the right
That's the wrong wire.
No, it's not. Stop backseat driving. I built this. I know what I'm doing.
But Nyx, I know what wire that is.
If you're sure that
Helius, nobody asked you. I've complete faith in his abilities and all. Now keep looking for the light switch, will you?
That's not my job. That's yours.
Well, it's obviously by a door. What are you, blind?
Helius holds out their hands, the only crew member without a flashlight. Crescent sees no issue. Helius huffs and trudges off into the pitch dark to find the light.
Finally, we see the source of the ice. Kirk, 23, a pale, lanky fellow with pointed ears and a narrow face, with a mangled left arm tucked under his cloak and a large cryoblaster attached to his back. Kirk finishes cooling the inside of a massive paint pipe with his blaster. He peeks his head from behind the shadows of the pipe, stepping only partly into the light.
I've successfully sealed the paint pipe. We can toss the explosive down.
I just need another 2 minutes, and I think we'll have it all set up.
Nix, you said you needed 2 minutes 5 minutes ago.
Sorry for not wanting to carry a live explosive.
It's a heated paint pipe. The ice will melt. Did you not just hear me?
I got a fan in my ear. I can't hear shit.
Suddenly, the exhaust fan comes to a screeching halt. Red emergency lights illuminate the room in hues of crimson. Helius stands in front of the emergency button. Arguing erupts like an orchestra of broken instruments, growing in symphony.
Helius, that was not the light switch.
The lights turned on. I thought that's what you wanted.
It is called a light switch, meathead.
Don't call me a meathead. You should have listened to me and let me build the bomb. Can someone just please hand me a fucking flashlight?
You don't need a flashlight now, dumbass.
Just finish the bomb before someone checks down here.
Nick scrambles to finish the bomb as everyone continues yelling. A mechanic in a worn jumpsuit creeps down the stairs with a taser-like device called a scrambler by his side. He is utterly dumbfounded at the sight of intruders bickering like children.
Who the hell are you people?
Fingers brush holsters as the mechanic stares down the crew. Nix with a foam blaster, Madi-Xi with a tear gas launcher, Kirk with his cryoblaster, Helius with a pistol, and Crescent with his shovel slung across his back. Crescent slaps Helius's head.
I told you it was by a door, shithead.
Nix's eyes lock on the mechanic's name tag, holding his hands up.
Greetings, Tord? Sorry you startled my fellow employees. We're the maintenance crew sent by the Galactic Commission, just doing some routine maintenance.
Is that a bomb? I'm calling the authorities!
The mechanic's communication device on his shoulder suddenly explodes outwards. The camera whips to Helius, outdrawing the mechanic with their rubber bullet pistol. The bruised mechanic fires off the scrambler. Helius attempts to dodge, only to scram into Crescent and take the brunt of the shot. Helius is instantly electrocuted. The crew proceed to go overboard in response. Nick spraying the man with foam, Kirk freezing him with ice, and Crescent whacking him with his shovel.
Not wanting to be left out, Madi-Xi pulls out her launcher. She exchanges what's already loaded in for tear gas before she shoots a canister point blank into the mechanic's body. Tear gas explodes into the enclosed room. Madi-Xi pulls down a gas mask.
Xi, we don't all have masks. That was for outdoor use.
What? I thought you packed them. Are you kidding?
As tear gas consumes the room, Nix, Kirk, and Helius start coughing frantically, eyes watering. Crescent, having no organs or mouth outside his goo, remains steady with Xi.
The basement door swings open. 6 masked guards with a combination of guns and stun batons all charge toward the smoke.
You know, Zai, maybe next time you could try remember that some of it, not me, but some of us have eyes.
Gunfire erupts. Crescent charges 2 of the guards in the smoke. Xi loads in another canister, firing it into a guard. Kirk drags a semi-conscious, coughing Helius to the edge of the room as the smoke approaches. As the 2 suffocate, Helius points toward an emergency button. Kirk rushes back into the smoke for it.
Crescent is shot in the arm after whacking a guard upside the head with his shovel. Madi-Xi yanks him out of the way to double kick a guard. Nix is tackled by a guard through the smoke.
As hope seems foggy, Kirk slams the start button. The exhaust fan stalls before rotating once more. The tear gas clears in chunks, rising up above. With the playing field somewhat leveled, Nix grabs the guard behind him and slams him to the ground. After a moment, Kirk uses his cryoblaster to freeze the 2 last guards.
We need to get the dusty hell out of here. Give me that.
Crescent snatches the bomb from Nix's hand.
Crescent, wait, the ice!
Crescent moves to the biopaint pipe that started all of this, arming and tossing down the bomb straight through melted ice.
Everybody duck!
The paint pipe blows, exploding upward and out. Everything in the room is covered in green paint that oozes like clotted cheese. Green viscous paint covers the camera. Title sequence, interim.
Act 1. Interior. The Star Serpent ship, night. We cut to the crew on their spaceship, the Star Serpent. The crew is now completely caked in smelly green paint. Before the crew, we see a woman in her early 50s with a slightly crooked nose, piercing cedar brown eyes, and her brown and red streaked hair tied in a messy bun. Elvera, the hardened captain, wears a blue coat with silver buttons. With an irritated disposition, she stares at the crew with the wrath of an angry parent whose children snuck out during the night.
That's bullshit. We did half the job. We should get at least half.
With all respect, Captain Fawley, the factory's biohazardous material is completely out of production.
No one gets paid when the contact refuses to pay me for an unfinished job. What kind of idiots wear disguises to blow the pipes from the inside?
Unfinished, my ass. What's unfinished about blowing up the pipe?
Unfinished as in it was specified that no one could know? You realize those were commission-employed guards. What if they remember your faces?
Madi-Xi distances herself from the group, sitting on the flat end of the command console.
My contact had multiple jobs, and not only did you choose the most difficult, but you royally fucked it up. All of you were spotted, so it's no longer an internal affair. The commission pays those damages.
Don't punish all of us for the sins of the one. Nix was the one who didn't arm the bomb ahead of time.
He threw it down without letting us leave first.
Maybe if Helius didn't blow up the communicator.
You didn't give me a
It's
fucking
been 4
flashlight!
hours!
Childish scuffling ensues as Helius snaps their rigid posture to grab Crescent. Madi-Xi yanks Crescent back while Nix locks his arms under Helius, lifting them off the ground. Everyone but Crescent seems concerned about Helios' strength, easily able to break Nix's grasp to launch at Crescent again.
Both of you, shut up!
Silence overtakes the space as Elvera's fury festers. Crescent and Helios back away, but continue exchanging dirty looks.
I don't care whose idea it was or whose fault it is. Truly, I cared about the result. And the only result was that you all should have died save for divine intervention. I have only 3 rules on this ship. Do your job.
Don't enter my room and don't bitch on my ship.
Wow, so you do all remember them. That's right. So you'd remember then that you broke 1 and 3. Now could you stop acting like children for 5 minutes?
Her expression softens when she notices Kirk and Helios' distress at her tone.
I know it was an accident. I'm not trying to be a dick here when I'm upset about it. Money's tight. I despise doing some shit job that barely pays the rent, stuck when there's a whole universe to explore, only to find that the same goddamn government down there runs the cash up here too. But you guys are costing me money.
We are?
Yes, you are.
Since when?
Since when? Oh my god. Since every job for the past 2 months. Anytime you 5 come back from your group gig work, you're all shot to squares and somehow the job's gone foobar. I have to pay to keep you healthy. I have to pay to keep you working. I have to pay clients complaining about my shit crew. My shit crew who keeps taking on dangerous jobs we know you're not qualified for. You aren't mercenaries. You're a cargo specialist with a shovel. A navigator whose only real skill is navigating into trouble. A scrawny medic who's too weak to lift a fully stocked first aid kit, not that there's a moment when one of you doesn't need it. A socially inept freak barely old enough to buy a regulation pistol, and a fucking civilian-grade vehicles mechanic, for God's sake. You are, in fact, costing me money, and I've officially had it. If you screw up another job, I'm kicking you all off the ship.
The crew exchange looks of anxiety, frustration, and disappointment.
Okay, Cap. We're sorry. I'm sorry.
Elvera clenches her fists and turns to walk out, but stops.
Look, I have a few more names I could contact for gig jobs on World, but you assholes better heed my words. If you fuck up one more time, you're out. I can't keep paying through the nose with your shenanigans. I need a drink.
Elvera exits. Everyone, save for Nix and Madi-Xi, disperse. The 2 stand together, alone.
That was, fun.
For some of us. I mean, I had fun.
Tear gas is not what I'd call fun. I just thought we'd be a little more cohesive than that.
I think you put too much faith in people you've known for far too little. You've only been here, 2 months? And you willingly go into a firefight with them. I suppose you're all skilled enough in your own fields, but you don't know how to be a real team yet.
Don't act like you weren't there.
Unfortunately, I was there.
If we could get along, we might be able to finish a job well enough to get paid.
It's not just how well you get along with your squadron. I like to believe there's a little luck in it too. And you all are definitely not lucky.
Madi-Xi exits. Nix turns away, staring out the front of the ship.
Interior, the Star Serpent ship cargo, night. Crescent traverses down the hall, approaching the cargo bay. A sign is welded to the metal door with crude handwriting. It states the laws of Cargonia, the sovereign nation that is the cargo bay. The prosperous and vibrant sovereign nation extends from one wall of the cargo bay, across sweeping plains of scraped metal flooring, mountain ranges of crates and shipping containers, and a forest of diverse spare parts, all the way to the opposite wall of the cargo bay. Cargonia only has 2 laws. 1. All citizens must be armed with an official Cargonian weapon. Examples: a metal pipe, rebar, baseball bat, shovel, or a plank of wood. Number 2. No tables. Crescent shoves open the broken sliding door before calling out to the people of his nation.
Well, howdy!
4 humanoid-esque creatures sitting on top of boxes with cards in their hands glance toward Crescent, all aliens of distinct origins. The first creature to speak is Kish, a blue plant-based humanoid with black, beady eyes and purple hair like a blossoming bud atop his head. Dressed in large overalls and thick dark gray boots, he slides off a box with cards still in his claws.
Well, how do you do to you too? We were just getting into another round of No What?
Kish gestures behind him. The other 3 citizens perched on boxes circling a larger box with cards on top. Staxis, a hulking, round beetle-like creature with his tightly fitted button shirt popped up, tips his very tiny hat. Makora, a solid production of a young humanoid woman tinted in shades of orange and yellow, with her hair in a clean crown braid. Lakora sits cross-legged on a makeshift seat, holding a virtual hand of cards. Lastly, the 4th player, Caio, a strange humanoid with curly black hair, slightly pointed ears, and a scar running from his forehead to his chin, expressionlessly waves.
How's the job?
Not good. I don't like it when Nix picks what we do. We don't typically see eye to eye.
Boss, you don't, have eyes.
That's the point. Ugh. Deal me in. Who's winning?
Caio's got some sort of 8th sense. I don't know how he always knows what to ask me. I managed to save up 3 of those queens, and he still got me in the end.
Expressionless, Caio is locked in on Staxis' clearly visible hand.
What about the trampoline? Where is it?
You mean the big box in the back?
The one that says trampoline on the front?
We received this box, sir. We weren't sure if it was a table or not. Your message was concerning me.
Staxis shows his wrist-mounted ID, galactic ID, to Crescent. The device displays group messages between the members of Cargonia.
You said going to the Everyone and Everything store to buy gunpowder for Madi-Xi. They were selling cereal boxes that come with glow sticks, and I bought 2. Then, Helius just shot the Stitchin store clerk before he could detain us, running back to the ship, to which Lakora responded with, "Crazy inhuman trigger finger, we shouldn't let him into Cargonia." And then you said, "I got a free trampoline with our purchase of gunpowder." And then Staxis said, "What's a trampoline?" And you said, and I quote, "It's a big bouncy flat top with a bunch of legs."
All except for Caio rapid-fire their suspicions of Crescent.
Boss, how could you?
This is an outrage.
I can't believe you'd bring a table into this wall.
What's a trampoline but a mere reflection of a table?
What? Fellas, I would never go against the bylaws. As your leader, I have swore a sacred oath. I will never bring a table into these walls. No tables means none.
Interior, the Star Serpent ship medbay, night. We see a hunched-over Kirk finishing accident reports. Nix enters, but Kirk doesn't look up from his work.
Greetings. How may I help you?
Well, I was going to ask. We're surveying for gigs in the next system, and wanted to know what type of jobs you'd be willing to do. I know you're the medic, but I don't know if you have any other expertise.
Oh, yes. I enjoy jobs that put us directly in the line of fire. I will remind you, you don't have to take me for every job. Pay me for my post-mission services.
If you're not on the job, you're not getting paid.
Nix closes the distance. Kirk finally turns to look at Nix.
Fixing you up isn't enough? It should be. Working on this ship should be enough. Which is unfortunate for me and every other person on this dump of a moving vehicle. My real work is important. This. I can't afford to be killed before I finish.
Ah, come on! We need ya! Who else is gonna fix us up when shit hits the fan?
An actual field medic? I'm a doctor. I don't work well under such conditions. I need time, resources, sanitation, not duct tape for your wounds.
Nick slaps Kirk's shoulder lovingly. Kirk reacts as if he's taking a mortal wound.
Fine. How about once we're closer, we discuss our next move? I need money to fix my thermal cautery pen. Guess it's back to a knife and a hot plate.
Well, we'll be within a few light cycles of our next cargo pickup. All new 43, and we'll sort of gauge what we want once we arrive.
Nix moves to exit the medbay.
It's fine. You know, I always try to find the silver lining in situations like this. I did find something worth my time, so I'm not cross about it.
Absolutely. Oh, mind if I ask you a weird question?
If anyone on the ship has an answer, it will be me.
Are humans typically strong? Like, really strong?
No. Strength does not come easily. As with all anthropoids, even their higher registers do not match that of other species. Why? Is our newest addition struggling to meet the carrying requirement? Or the height requirement?
No, well, we needed to pad the turret for them. But no, I was just curious. They're not struggling at all. I asked for some help with one of the engines, and they didn't let me even grab the car jack. They just lifted it. Like it was nothing.
Even half-breeds cannot lift more than 1 ton.
I mean, you're the expert. I'll catch you later, Kirk.
Just as the medical bay door shuts and Nix exits, Kirk's eyebrows raise. He moves over to a cabinet, pulling out Helius's file. He opens the barren file. In red letters, we see, refused physical. Kirk's eyes narrow, and he snaps the file shut. We cut to an aerial shot of the ship. A standard cargo cruiser, save for the decal of a serpent underneath blossoming marigolds on the side of the ship.
Act 2. Interior, the Star Serpent ship lounge. Night. A week later, the crew is assembled in the ship's lounge. Kirk sits on the couch with Crescent perched on the arm, Madi-Xi on the floor, Helius on the table edge, and Nix and the captain standing in the center of the room. She scrolls through a forum on her galactic ID with Nix looking over her shoulder.
Clean up on a shit plot in Aldeos district?
Unsanitary.
Now how about guard duty? A political emissary needs escorts across the station. Could be interesting.
Please no thank you.
Oh, whoa! The assassination of a political
I
emissary.
can do that.
Excuse me?
First of all, assassination isn't teamwork, that's you work. Second, sorry, you out of your fucking mind?
No, it's just a job. Pays very well.
Fascinating. A proper mercenary. Hit jobs are very different from temporary work. One involves committing acts of kidnapping and or murder, and the other doesn't include either of those things. Why don't we clear up that distinction now?
Hit jobs are technically temporary work.
On the same note, not all of us are trained killers.
I am.
No, you're not. Zai is.
Yes, I am.
Besides, this going to different places to do gig work thing, this is kind of my first time off-world. If we're doing a mission or on another planet or space station or whatever, I want it to mean something good.
Fine. We basically just did a hit job.
That company was using biohazard material in a paint to save costs. I feel like that meant something good.
Well, Captain Elvera said that the commission will just pay for the damages, so they'll still be making the paint that, like, mutates your blood and stuff.
Real cheery, Helius. Thanks for that.
What about animal control? Invasive species loose in the city? Payment doubled for the creature alive.
Double? What's the catch?
I saw that one. But it's in the inner rim. I wasn't really planning on having us do anything more than drop cargo off there. It's gonna be pretty close to the commission authorities too, so if you take the job, your IDs better check out. Or I'm gonna be the one that's fined. I don't care how it gets done, legal or not. Speak to Madi-Xi if you need your ID forged.
Wrangling a critter. Well, shit, I'd be up for that.
It's a medium-sized creature called an Aret. The bite injects an acidic venom that causes organ failure, temporal distortions, hallucinations, and death.
So don't get bit.
The two narrow their eyes at each other and grumble.
I do keep antitoxins and tranquilizers on hand, which would make the job easier, though I will not wrangle anything. I can't physically carry that type of antivenom with me, so we'd leave it on the ship. I would be in favor of this if I only provide support.
Animals are easy to track. It'll take a little patience, which, frankly, some of us could use.
Then it's settled. Let's wrangle an Aret.
The camera pans toward the description of the creature on Nyx's ID, closing in on 3 words: dangerous, venomous, lethal. Superimposed titles: All New 43 in the Zensis system.
Exterior, all new 43, shipport, day. The ship closes in on the beautifully mauve-hued planet, glowing dully from afar. However, once the ship closes in, the surface reveals its flaws. The life of the planet has been choked with skyscrapers, spaceship lots, and vendors lining the filth-ridden routeways. Empty plots of metal pave the ground as the Star Serpent lands near the outskirts of the grossly radiant city.
Interims? The inner rim.
The crew exit from the ship with their gear, with Captain Elvera pushing out a hover crate filled with tradable cargo in tow.
My contact is set to meet us here in a few minutes to discuss details. Pay attention when we're talking.
Helius runs up from behind. They smile up towards the city as if they've never seen one before. Perhaps they haven't.
Whoa, this planet is so bright. It's really pretty.
Up until you look at it.
You can't even see the stars. Space is right there.
Cities are always an eyesore. You get accustomed to the sights and scent when stuck in the filth of it.
Growing up in a place like this, you get stunned when you don't see it.
The contact saunters up with a guard on each shoulder. The man is tall, slender, and wears a porcelain mask, covering his face.
Greetings. You must be the crew of the Star Serpent?
That would be us. I'm Captain Elvera Fawley of the 1203 Class EEC Cargo Transport, and this is my crew.
I am Tavish of the Zraden household. A pleasure, milady. Is this your ship?
Captain, and yes, it is. Issued by the Commission for work-related usage.
What is that awful decal on the front? This is the worst explosion I've ever seen.
It's a plant where I'm from, sir.
I'm sure the Commission loves it when you decorate their property, milady. You don't want to get reported and lose your ship, do you?
Captain Fawley. I'm sure they'd love it, sir.
Yes, I'm sure. May I see the crew registrations?
Madi-Xi steps forward, holding their wrist-mounted ID. She scrolls through the selection, briefly showcasing for the audience the ID's functions: atmospheric readings, radio frequencies, maps, messages, and identification. She taps the ID icon, displaying Zai Madison and her picture.
I'm Zai Madison, Lieutenant of Captain Elvera. I'll be in charge of handling the field part of the job.
Each crew member follows, holding up their IDs for inspection.
I'm Nyx. Nice to meet you. I work in mechanics.
I'm the medic. You may call me Kirk Lorien.
Helius. I just operate the turret.
And I'm Crescent, Cargonia. Really nice to meet you.
Crescent shakes the contact's hand aggressively. The contact wipes away the slime from Crescent on his pants.
Nice to meet you all. Your credentials check out, so we're in business. I was hired by the Commission here on Orleans 43 to transport a hostile arret, but it escaped captivity. I cannot track it, nor will I wrangle it myself. The Commission will take my head off if it's not dealt with by Stardown, seeing as it only eats, kills, and lays eggs. It's already eaten, it's already killed. You see my problem, right?
Problem C.
I'm sure you're aware, but I am paying double if the creature is alive. If it's dead, that's fine. I purchased it for study so I can make do with its corpse. Though I most certainly won't pay as much. Do you understand the terms?
Utterly.
Sounds like a plan. We'll transport it back here for you after we've found it.
Glad to have this taken care of so swiftly. Please contact me once the job is finished.
The contact exits the port. Elvera turns back to the crew.
All right, you have the information and your task. Check in when you get a chance. I'm off to deliver some cargo. Don't make me go without a crew, shitheads.
Elvera turns to leave with her hover crate.
It's a fucking marigold with leaves. Milady. Fucking asshole.
Our job is simple enough. We'll split up. Crescent, you take Kirk and Helius, and I'll go with Zai.
Just a moment. What should we do once we have this creature? I refuse to contain it in the med bay.
We could hold in Cargonia if needed, though I'd prefer not to give it the chance to get loose into the ship.
Excuse me. You can't just declare an executive order for my nation without running it through the rest of Cargonia and myself.
Crescent, can we please keep a medium-sized venomous creature in your sovereign nation?
Well, since I'm the leader and all, and you politely asked, I'll let let you contain your foreign cargo within my nation's borders.
If you alone can make executive decisions, is Cargonia a dictatorship? How ruthless. I'm impressed.
Absolutely not. As the leader, I can bypass my council in specific, certain, rare situations like this.
Isn't that an autocracy? Because you're the sole leader?
It is not. We are a democracy. Not like you know anything about government since I had to explain to you what a potato was. That's an earthen food.
Yes, Helius, an Earth food. From Earth. Where you're from? Isn't that what you said when we picked you up from the ship lot 2 weeks ago? You're from Earth?
Yes, I'm from Earth. Kirk Lorien from Star Novia. Earth is just so big and massive, and I haven't heard of all the foods on it. You would know that, except you're not from Earth.
Hey, how about we argue about Cargonia's government and potatoes after we've delivered the creature?
Fine, but this discussion isn't over.
You three scout for tracks on the ground. Zai and I will grab accounts from the locals. We only have enough tranquilizers for Kirk and I to carry one, so call in if you need anything. There should be large crates in Cargonia we can move outside to hold the RA.
Good idea. I'd prefer if we find anything, we don't put it in on the ship. I'd kill myself if I have to live through the Alien movie.
Zai, don't be speciesist. You can't say that anymore.
What? It's an Earth movie. It's literally... Never mind.
Right.
We'll handle it.
But anything? Do you mean like any creature? Or specifically something that would harm the ship?
And why does that matter?
I mean, because I just thought.
He's asking a pretty valid question.
What if we find a goose that lays golden eggs? That's like amazing, so we gotta take that.
Crescent? Use that slimy goo brain of yours and ask yourself, does that sound even remotely possible?
Wait, what's a goose?
Some sort of weird, small bird
Goose are on my home world. They're huge, giant feather beasts that lay eggs like 15 feet tall.
I can tell you with certainty that is not true.
Feathered beast? Why would we ever bring a feathered beast onto our ship?
Some of them lay golden eggs. You don't understand. If there's a giant feathered beast that lays golden eggs, we're gonna take it on the ship, right?
But it's a beast?
Because it lays golden eggs. Kirk, you get what I'm saying, right?
Sure.
See? He gets it. Meathead. You wouldn't take a golden egg laying goose if it bit off your meaty head.
Madi-Xi and Nyx have vanished from sight.
She didn't say I couldn't bring a goose onto the ship, so if we find one, we're bringing it onto the
But
ship.
said...
It's actually what I didn't say. You have no opinion, Helius. It's actually foreign nation matters.
No, I have an opinion. You're just being a dick.
That's not very polite. I'm just telling you what to do and you're being all rude and stuff.
Then stop telling me what to do and get your shovel out of your ass, dictator.
Excuse me! Don't ever say that to me again. Cargonia is a democratic sovereign nation. It's my nation, and I can bring any golden egg laying goose I want. Kirk agrees with me, right, Kirk?
Frankly, I couldn't possibly care any less.
2 against 1. If I find a goose, I'm gonna take it.
Crescent marches towards the nearest alleyway. Kirk glances at Helius before arming his cryoblaster and following. Helius sighs, trailing behind the two into the dark.
Act 3. Exterior, all new 43 Urban Street. Day. An aerial shot of the grossly luminescent city scales in to follow Nyx and Madi-Xi as they traverse the city. A short montage of Nyx and Xi conversing with the local residents.
The monster with the amber eyes came down from the rooftop and bounced into the rubbish.
That thing grabbed my Elda and snapped the leash with its green claws. I screamed for the commission, but it was already gone.
Nyx's hand slides into the frame to hand her a tissue.
The spines on its back flared when I emptied the trash.
Xi spots claw marks on the neon sign. She starts scaling the building's fire escape with Nyx struggling to follow. As she reaches the top, the camera pans over more claw marks. Xi squats at the markings etched in the roof with yellow-green ooze on the edges. Nyx reaches the top and peers over Xi's shoulder.
Oh, that's disgusting. and fresh. It should have dried, right?
In theory. Or it could just be that acidic.
Nyx glances towards Madi-Xi, who is completely locked in. Madi-Xi holds her wrist ID to the substance, selecting Atmospheric Reader. The ID takes a moment to calculate. Nyx opens his mouth, but Xi's ID chirps.
Neurotoxin and acidic components detected.
Madi-Xi's eyes track the marks. She peers over the edge of the rooftop, spotting a damaged dumpster below. Her eyes trail back towards the packed rooftops. Nests of scrap and trash litter the roofs unoccupied by satellites and air filtration systems.
Let's try to trail it. We'll find its nest and stake it out to surprise it when it returns.
She's gone before Nyx can get in another word.
Exterior, Olnu 43 alleyway, day. Meanwhile, Crescent leads the charge as he weaves down the alleyways. A bored Kirk follows behind. As Helius tails the two, a sudden sound is heard within their mind. A dissonant low ring. As the bells toll, their head jerks up like a deer when the grass shuffles opposite from the wind.
Something's wrong.
What?
Helius quickly snaps around, pulling out their blaster. A snarl echoes throughout the dark alley. A silhouette slinks down, its pronged tail peeking from the shadow. As the entity stalks into the light, we see a dark bronze creature with its skin stretched thin over its flesh. 2 hind legs and 2 sets of arms with spindling talons. At the glint of danger, Helius fires into the Aret. Shots ricochet as the Aret's hollow amber eyes lock on a startled Crescent. It pounces its prey, Crescent screaming as he slams the shovel into the creature. The Aret gives chase.
Try not to kill the thing!
Oh, like I could do it by accident.
Kirk's cryoblaster spins to life as he fires off consecutive blasts, coating the creature's snout in a thick layer of ice.
Do not get bit. Do not get bit.
The Aret breaks the ice on its jaw and slashes the tubing connecting Kirk's cryoblaster. The device spews out nitrogen, forcing Kirk to throw away his gear. With the Aret's prey defenseless, it charges Kirk. Helius jumps up and off the wall, using the momentum to land a powerful roundhouse kick. The Aret slams into the opposite wall. The Aret snags Helius's leg with its tail, slamming the teenager against the wall. The Aret pulls its prey close. However, like a bat out of hell, Crescent slams his shovel into the creature's leg. The Aret snarls, releases its grip, and retreats up the wall.
The tubing is ripped to shreds. That filthy creature. I'll have to rebuild it from scratch.
Just fix it with duct tape. That always works for me.
Kirk opens his mouth to argue, then closes.
Great. Do you have any on you?
No, why?
Kirk slowly glares at Crescent. Helius wastes no time scrounging through their backpack, pulling out various items, such as extra clothing, lockpicks, and even a toothbrush. Helius pulls out a roll of duct tape and tosses it to Kirk, who barely catches it.
You didn't move in? You didn't even put your toothbrush in the bathroom?
Well, yeah, I don't know when I'll have to leave again.
I see. I know what that's like, moving from place to place, unable to settle for one reason or another.
I think it's the one thing I do know.
Kirk guiltily purses his lips as he tapes his cryoblaster.
Exterior, Olnu 43, cluttered apartment rooftop, day. We cut back to Nyx tracking claw marks and Madi-Xi mapping on her ID. She circles the locations with physical markings of the creature, as well as sightings and encounters. Nyx sits next to her as she creates the map, not taking her eyes off her work.
So, what's the weirdest thing you've ever had to drink?
I took a shot of hot sauce tequila and vinegar once.
Ew. Fucking gross. Was it a bet?
My old crew sat around for 5 days in transit with nothing else to do but toss rocks and drink hot sauce. My mouthwash was the only other alcohol on the ship, and trust me, it was gone pretty quick. We had to not eat solids before cryo.
Cryo? Okay, Grandma. You've never talked about your old crew before.
Don't get used to it.
Was this with the Mercenaries Guild or the Pirates? I thought pirates typically raided cryo cargo. Or was it the...
It was much longer ago than either of those two things. I had just been assigned navigator on a flight crew of 6. Never flied, but I had been training for a number of years for this trip. I barely qualified. The original navigator, my mentor, actually got pink eye before the launch window, so she couldn't go. I was always the backup navigator. I just never actually expected to go, you know? My captain, Sonia Resnikovich, was in charge of the expedition. Smartest woman I've ever met. And don't look at me like that.
What? I'm invested. Seriously, I've been on the ship for 2 months, is what you said? I only know you by how often your heater acts up.
Well, here's hoping it breaks again, huh?
The two exchange a friendly smile. Zai breaks away first.
Anyway, short story long. We spent the first part of the week getting stuff ready, prepping for cryo sleep, but unfortunately, we got done early. Normally, we'd send mission control requests for entertainment, such as movies or books, ahead of time. However, since I was a last-minute addition, a lot of things got thrown out the window. We wouldn't need it for cryo anyway, but we'd want it for after. Our communications officer was livid when their keyboard got misplaced.
Did they get it back after the mission was over?
There's a long silence.
I don't know.
Another moment of silence. Nick seems uncomfortable.
So, you took a hell shot?
Yeah. I called it hot shit. A well-earned title.
You had nothing else to do.
Oh yeah. I did a line of coke.
For real?
Nah, I'm just fucking with you. I did the lieutenant.
Before Nix can even react, a notification on Zai's ID pops between the two. She answers the call, revealing a hologram of Crescent.
Howdy! We found ourselves a varmint.
Is it dead?
Helius appears behind Crescent.
It's not dead, but that's because it got away.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. I'm bleeding a little.
Helius holds their hand to the camera, their fingers covered in blood from their head. Crescent shoves them out of frame.
Gross, you're leaking all over the place. It didn't bite us because of Kirk's freezy gun, but it battered the shit out of us. It grabbed Helios with his blue venom claw shit, but they don't look poisoned yet. It's not going far, so I'll send you our coordinates.
Wait. Blue claws?
Yeah, that's what I just said, Zai. Blue claws. Don't forget to turn on your listening ears.
The owner of the weird pseudo-dog, the Eldoth, said the leash was cut by the creature's green claws.
Okay, but green looks an awful lot like blue.
Kirk, do me a favor. Describe to me exactly what the creature looked like.
Kirk appears in the hologram behind Crescent. Madi-Xi pulls up her map.
Well, it was about 7 feet tall, slender, darkish bronze with an unhinging jaw, venom teeth, flat back, blue claws, and a long tail.
You've got to be kidding me.
What? What's up?
There's more than one. The contact said the thing's already eaten and killed, so the next thing it was gonna do was lay eggs. And they're supposed to be, 9 feet? Our descriptions straight up don't match. And if you look at the sightings and I zoom out...
She shrinks the map. We see 2 circles with a small overlap.
There! Circles of activity. The creature must have multiplied because we have multiple distinct areas of activity. How much you want to bet there's more than 2?
10 credits to you if there's more than 2. 10 credits to me if 2 or less.
Look forward to losing 10 credits.
She types Crescent's coordinates into her map. The other crew's location pings between the 2 circled areas on the map.
Do me a huge favor and move to the street. We'll meet up with you shortly. Nix and I will do some recon and see if we can't find the nest somewhere.
Alrighty then.
Crescent hangs up. Zai immediately roots through her gear.
Hand me the tranquilizer.
Nix reaches into his pockets. His face falls. He frantically pads down his chest pockets, pants, and nervously roots through his gear. Zai slowly turns, staring expressionless at Nix.
Nix, where's the tranquilizer?
I don't know. It was right where it was, I don't have it.
I don't know why I told you any of that stupid stuff about me. If the Arret doesn't kill you, I'm gonna do it myself.
Madi-Xi turns away before he can speak, dialing Elvera on her ID. We will return after a 10-minute intermission.
When we last left the crew, Madi-Xi threatened a disorganized Nyx, and our B team just had an eventful encounter. Exterior, all new 43 Alleyway Section 2, day. We return to Kirk, Crescent, and Helius. The sound of pulling tape echoes through the alleyway as they pause to patch Kirk's cryoblaster. On either side, Crescent and Helius face away, scanning for any signs of the creature's return.
Hey, Crescent. So, I was thinking, this mission sounded pretty standard when we took it, but now that we're on site, it kind of seems, well,
Spit it out, please.
I'm uncomfortable with our directive. We locate a runaway creature, beat it into submission, and then return it to the cage where it came from?
Helius, it's just an animal. It's not sentient. It's shredding up the people and eating them for lunch. There's a difference. It eats, kills, sometimes it breeds, but mostly it kills. It cannot truly think as we can. Anthropoids like ourselves are cunning and understand the bigger picture. If we spared everything, we wouldn't be humanoid. It's our nature.
Cunning is a crazy first thing to say about us, Kirk. In my opinion, anthropoids are empathetic. We're creatures who can see struggle and fundamentally understand it because we ourselves struggle.
We can choose to empathize. It's what makes us humanoid.
Also, if we spared every animal, we wouldn't have meat either. Not these creatures, though, but most of the time when you kill some, you eat it.
Well, most killers don't eat their victims. That'd make a lot of cannibals. But the principle is the same. There are those who kill and those who get killed.
Helius breaks eye contact, turning away from the two. Kirk continues rolling the tape around his cryoblaster.
I know that. I guess I just thought the world was different out here. Maybe, I don't know.
Crescent takes the roll from Kirk, holding it up to Helius.
Look, Helius, sometimes it's hard to wrangle a critter. You think, fuck, what is that poor thing thinking? Lassoing it and dragging it back to the stable.
Yeah? And what do you do about that?
I don't know what you're asking. I just told you I lasso it and drag it back to the stable. I didn't understand the meathead slur until this moment.
You're one of the meanest people I know.
And you're one of the stupidest, which is real sad because you're supposed to have a brain up there.
Kirk finishes taping up his weapon and reholsters it, stepping between the two.
That should hold it, at least until we can meet up with Xi and Nyx. For now, I'm defenseless. I left my other weapon back on the ship.
Right. You left all your fancy chainsaws, too. For a doctor, you got a strange arsenal.
Said the farmer who beats up people with shovel. Sorry. Ever heard of concussions? Brain aneurysms?
First of all, I haven't killed anyone. No one's died by my shovel. Now, have I injured people? Yes, sir, I have. Have those wounds killed them? Probably not. Second, my shovel's much better than your stupid cryo blaster. You gotta buy all the ammo for it, and it's frankly worse than bullets. Your weapon died while I broke that thing's leg. 0.1 for me, 0.0 for you.
Yes, 1 point for you. I still don't have a weapon.
You have the tranquilizer, right?
I do, but it won't protect me if the Aurate gets close.
Well, just leave it to me then. My shovel and I can be your front line of defense.
I appreciate the sentiment, but I would like something to protect myself with, thank you.
You don't trust me?
I don't trust either of you, plainly.
I sure do appreciate your honesty.
Crescent smiles earnestly. Kirk rolls his eyes.
Helius, do you have any knives on you that I can use?
Oh, no. You wouldn't want to use a knife here. The last thing you want is to actually be close enough to need to use it. You would, either need to brute force through the armor since the bullets mostly ricochet off, or, find openings left in the armor for mobility.
A brief silence overcomes the space.
What? I'm just saying.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That might have been the most competent thing you've said all day.
Interior, Star Serpent command room, day. We cut to the empty command room. Elvera opens the door and slumps in the center chair. Her relaxation is interrupted by a call from Xi. Elvera sits up and slides the call request to the ship's computer, projecting Xi on the monitor.
Captain?
Lieutenant, how can I help you?
Yeah. Can you find something in engineering for me?
She puts the call on her ID and trudges toward Nyx's territory. Interior, Star Serpent Engineering Bay, day. The massive room has 2 large engine stations, visibly repaired for malfunctions. She steps around various contraptions and the occasional dirty clothing article.
It smells like gunk grease and cigarette smoke. What exactly do you need me to find?
Nyx can't find his tranquilizer. If we don't have it, we only have one left. And it's with the one crewmate who can't aim.
Elvera scrounges through Nyx's gear, pulling out knickknacks, collectibles, and miscellaneous tools. She pulls out a portrait of a young Nyx with 2 older orc figures, a family portrait. Holding it with a tenderness, she sets the frame gently on his bedside. After a moment, she resumes and comes up empty. Exterior, Olnu 43, rooftop, day.
It's not with your stuff.
Damn it. Let's just meet with Kirk and take his tranquilizer instead. It'd be easier than going back to the ship, even if we did find it.
I swear I had it. I must have just misplaced it.
I'll keep looking for it, Nyx. Just try to get the job done. I don't want to receive another complaint. Otherwise, you 5 will have to find another ride.
I'm sorry, what?
Zai, you're included with them.
No, I'm not. Elle, I'm your second in command. I'm your lieutenant. And your navigator.
And I'm your boss. My point still stands. When I stated I'd have to let the crew go, I meant all of you. If you 5 can't work together to get one job done without a slew of complaints, then I can't afford to keep you on my cargo ship.
Your ship operates a triple needle frequency. I'm the only one who can do the math and the radio.
I'll manage.
Gosh, forgive me. Maybe I'm missing something. So what you're saying is you'd prioritize your ship over me? Us?
Lieutenant Zai Madison. My ship is my home, vehicle, and workplace. As the contractor money comes out of my pockets when you screw up, I'm sorry that none of us get paid more than the bare minimum to keep us alive for the next job. Otherwise, I couldn't care less what you do with your time or money. Let me know if you need anything else.
When the captain hangs up, Zai's face fills with frustration.
You're actually fucking kidding me. There's no way she just said that to me.
Did you think this whole time you weren't going to be kicked off the ship?
Well, yeah. I'm her navigator. Why would she kick me off? My whole job is moving the damn bucket from one place to another, using calculations that I know she can't do. I've been with her for 2 years. That's pretty fucking important if you ask me. I never had any problems before you guys showed up. Until I wanted enough money for a small treat every once in a while, or to maybe get better equipment, a good cup of coffee, a better light bulb for my room. God help anyone trying to do more than just survive. There's no fucking good coffee in space.
Even though Nyx takes offense from her words, he breaks eye contact and backs off, not wanting to start a fight.
Well, I don't know how long 2 years is, but it was nice you tagged along to help us, even if you felt like you didn't have to.
I don't want to go back to the Mercenaries Guild. I just wanted to navigate again. More math, less bullets. I missed having the energy to want to go places.
At least you have somewhere to go should we crash and burn it. So I can't go home. Where I'm from, moving off-world is disowning your planet. I know the 5 of us can't work together. Crescent's abrasive, Kirk's snobby, Helius is naive, I'm disorganized, you're snarky.
Rude.
Well, I say that because I think the one thing that keeps us together is that we all care about each other. Not like all of us care about all of us. We're not that mature. I think over half the crew wants someone else dead. But we each at least care about one other person. You care about Elle, Crescent cares about the Cargonia crew, Kirk cares about me, I think. Helius cares about you.
Helius cares about me? You're kidding.
Well, yeah. Our wannabe hotshot looks up to the real deal. Zai, we're in this together. I mean it.
Zai reluctantly smiles as the 2 leave to meet with the crew.
Do you prepare speeches? Or was that just on the fly?
I make it up from the very depths of my soul.
Really?
Nah, just fucking with you. I monologue in the shower.
Act 4. Exterior, all new 43 alleyway, section 3, day. As Crescent, Helius, and Kirk traverse the alleyway, the hollow eyes of the Aurits stalk above, along with 2 more sets of eyes.
Just like Velbia Recessus in the one film.
No, she used a morning star in the 3rd movie.
I don't remember. I thought she just used a bat. I haven't seen any movies for a couple of cycles.
What's a movie?
You tell me that you have this vast knowledge of situational uses of a knife and took mental notes while that thing was trying to disembowel you, but you don't know what a movie is?
A movie is a campfire story in front of your eyes through a piece of perspective and literal glass.
Like a video?
Sure, yes. An excruciatingly long video which provides often some form of entertainment or message.
Exactly. Kirk, you do this so much better than I can.
Why am I surrounded by idiots?
We hear bells toll once more. Helius scans around, hyper-aware, and rips a stick of metal piping off the wall like it's nothing. Kirk once again narrows his gaze. Helius's eyes dart around before spotting the Aurits slinking towards their prey.
It followed us.
Oh, look! I think it brought along its friends.
Helius tosses Kirk their blaster. His cloak parts briefly to catch the weapon, snatching with it the attention of Crescent. Kirk's supposedly bad left arm is maroon in hue, with multiple pins, wires, and surgical scars, and his Frankenstein to his body. His own creation, a semi-autonomous extension of himself, snatches the weapon from the air with a gooey sound before retracting underneath the cloak. 3 Aurits, pulsing with anger, cut the crew off from any exits and trap them within the narrow alleyway.
2 on 3 doesn't seem all that fair.
Who are you not counting? That thing or one of us?
I don't really count you 2. You're both like half of a fighter, so I just lump you 2 together.
Excuse me?
No, that's accurate.
The first Auret with an etched spine launches towards Kirk. Crescent whips around and knocks the creature in the neck with his shovel. The creature convulses and chokes with pain. As the second green-clawed Auret charges Helius, they plunge the rebar into the monster's shoulder. Its tail whips to catch the teenager's feet, but this time they've learned. Helius jumps up onto the dumpster and tears off the metal covering of the container with a brutal amount of strength. The Auret attempts to bite up, only to be blocked by the metal sheet. Venom seeps from its snout as it corners Helius atop the dumpster. The third Auret, with its broken leg, stalks towards Kirk. Crescent yanks Kirk out of the way, only for the Auret to pivot and snap its teeth into Crescent's arm.
Ah! Damn, varmint! Get off! I don't taste good!
With the Auret still latched to his arm, Crescent pivots to give Kirk a clear shot. The echo of bullets ring through the alleyway as the bullets successfully pierce through its thick hide. Just as Crescent grabs the creature's snout buried in his forearm, his vision blurs. The venom takes effect. He stumbles, clutching his shovel tight as he whacks the creature's mouth. As Kirk shuffles away from the fight, his gaze shifts up to another set of eyes above. These eyes are black, soulless, and larger than the others. Before he can grasp what the creature above him is, Kirk's attention is forced back as Crescent screams out again. Pressed against the wall with only a metal sheet between themselves and a mouth of venom, Helius braces their foot against the wall and shoves the second Auret off the dumpster. Despite their small stature, Helius jumps down and lifts the large dumpster, flipping it onto the monster to crush it. Kirk stares in utter confusion. The first Auret, with its teeth still latched to Crescent, thrashes its prey to the ground. When the creature's jaw releases to snap again, Crescent socks the creature with a left hook. The shovel now lies just barely out of Crescent's reach. He holds the creature off from tearing his face off with his good arm and reaches his damaged one for the shovel. As the creature's maw drips venom, what's already in his system begins to warp his vision. Objects twist, and the ground blends into sandy pathways. The creature above warps into an amalgamation of the monster and his fellow crewmate Helius. Snarling. Hungry.
I can't die. I just started. I just got here. I can't die in this stupid town having never done anything. I just got here. Fuck.
Crescent, snap out of it and take the shot.
I can't.
Excuse me? Why not?
It's alive, you idiot. It's a creature living, breathing, thinking. I can't kill it.
The hallucination of Helius relaxes, beckoning Crescent to lower his guard. Crescent holds strong.
You had no issue with the guards in the factory.
I didn't kill any of them.
And if you don't kill me, I'll kill you. It's what I was made for.
That is not how it works. It's fucking not.
As Crescent turns to Kirk, we see a new figure through his POV. Crescent's father, an older yellow slime fellow whose haunting visage blends with his co-workers.
You wanted adventure, didn't you? This is it. Welcome to the Inner Rim, where no one can afford to make it enough without exploiting another.
No, it's not. It's not supposed to be like this.
What? The ship? This station? The world outside our Dust Bowl hellscape? The commission itself ensuring that no one ever becomes anything more than the labor they've been assigned? Throw a fucking spine. It's always been like this, and it always will be.
No, it's fucking not.
The amalgamation snaps as time shunts forward. Crescent snatches the shovel and swings it up. The shovel smashes into this monster's skull. It falls limp, unmoving. Crescent freezes, shocked, praying that it twitches, breathes something. He can't have actually killed it. Kirk smiles with approval, but his relief only lasts a moment.
Kirk, use the tranquilizer!
As the first and final Arit pounces Kirk, Helius intercepts, putting it into a headlock. As their arm is torn by the venomous claws, Kirk jabs the tranquilizer into the creature's neck between armor plates. It falls over, unconscious. With one Arit unconscious, the second crushed under a dumpster, and the third dead with a dent to the skull, Crescent stalls. Helius and Crescent bear similar injuries, with Crescent having taken a bite to his arm and Helius's arm shredded. Crescent softens his gaze and his vision solidifies, no longer seeing part of his crewmate.
Skull looked tougher from the outside.
Kirk spots the large set of eyes still peering above the narrow alleyway. He pulls Crescent and Helius into the street.
Company isn't far, you two. Above us.
I think I've been poisoned.
Astute observation, meathead.
Helius's eyes frantically scan and twitch uncontrollably. We hear the sounds of circuitry sparking as Helius twitches. Kirk's eyes widen. As he turns to assess, Crescent reins them both in.
Look alive! Wait, if we got all three, then what in the dusty hell is the thing above us?
Kirk fires the blaster towards the dark-eyed figure. It recoils, letting out a different cry of pain. A disgruntled honk.
Is that what I think it is?
Illuminated in the neon lights, we see a large white bird-like creature with angelic white wings, a long, slender neck that weaves and curves, a faded orange beak filled to the brim with teeth, and pitch eyes that stare into the soul. By Earth terms, this would in fact be a goose. But by all things divine, this is no Earth-residing goose. This goose perfectly fits the description from Crescent's home world. The 15-foot monstrosity perches above, salivating at the dead Arits.
Oh my god!
I fucking told you! I fucking told you! You bitches wouldn't believe me! I told you! Large ass geese! I thought they were only in my homeworld, but I didn't reckon.
Is that a geese?
Yeah, it's a feathery beast. Let's hope this one lays golden eggs.
Ask and you shall receive.
Now, Kirk, you said this wasn't our top priority. What priority is it then?
What do you want me to say? Fine, yes, the giant 15-foot feral goose is our top priority.
Alrighty, that's what I want to hear. Oh no.
The dumpster rattles and the second Arit trapped bursts from under it. The creature stalks towards the crew, extending its claws, snarling. A red mist of anger fills the creature's eyes. The goose, however, does not care. The goose drops its beak down into the last Arit, killing it instantly. Haunting looks are exchanged as the crew watch the predator become prey.
It's gonna do that to us now.
Kirk, Helius, and Crescent abscond further into the street, just as Nyx and Zeb return to meet them. The goose lets out a monstrous honk before slowly advancing forward.
What's wrong? Oh, what the hell is that thing?
It's a geese!
A goose! Goose! Geese is the plural conjugation.
The 15-foot goose centers on Kirk. It suddenly stops as it notices Crescent's Arit kill at its billed feet. The goose pivots, barely scraping the walls as it moves to consume the Arit.
Okay, we need a battle plan. Simple strategies aren't gonna work against this thing. It's too damn smart.
You're not serious, are you? We are not taking home a fucking 15-foot bird.
We could try shooting it. It's just a bird.
Do not ignore me. Is everyone just on board with this?
I mean, feathers don't protect too well against gun. Actually, I feel like a goose would be pretty flammable, but I kind of want to see if it lays golden eggs. Wait. We can't fight this thing. We gotta capture it. We'd be fucking rich.
That is not how geese work. Besides, there is no way that thing will fit in Cargonia.
Captain L wouldn't allow it.
Well, if you keep it in Cargo, which is a sovereign nation, it's out of her jurisdiction.
Wait, since when were you on our side about this?
Since Milady Fawley said she'd drop me too.
Zai offers a soft smirk, but only for a moment.
Don't think this means I like you guys. I'm just pissed at Elvera for prioritizing her job over me.
I know. I don't assume you like us anyway.
Good call.
Crescent, you know the most about these things. What's the plan?
Well, when you don't want a bird to fly, you gotta clip its wings.
And I thought I was cruel. Well done.
I could do that.
A nice thought, but no, you can't. You are a human last time I checked, a very small one at that, which is very unfortunate for you. Sadly, humans cannot...
If you guys find me a large object, I can use my strength and throw it to injure its wing. But I need something, and it should be something heavy. It can't be a person. That won't work.
The camera pans to Crescent, sinking over in disappointment.
We'll distract it long enough for you to throw something. You can throw cars, right?
Yes.
You hesitated.
Sounds like a plan.
Everyone but Kirk moves to distract the creature.
Don't act like that didn't just happen. They hesitated.
As Nyx aims his blaster, his weapon jams. He slaps his gun and pulls out the ammo. The missing tranquilizer falls into his hand.
Give me that. It's not gonna work against a 15-feet bird.
Zai snatches his gun to lay cover fire, drawing the goose's attention. Seeking Kirk's broken cryoblaster, Nyx snaps off the thin nozzle funneling the ice and fixes the device with nearby junk to create a duckbill to spread the ice over a wider area.
Kirk uses the cryoblaster to spray ice on the ground. The goose locks on Kirk, furious at the small creature who casts the first stone. Kirk narrowly dodges as the goose slams into the ground, its beak exploding the pavement. Sliding past the goose, Helius races to the row of hover cars parked across the street. Just barely levitating, the small teenager plants their feet and pulls. The car doesn't budge. They check under the vehicle to see it locked in place with a magnet attached to the street. Helius smashes the ground where the magnet is attached, dislodging the surrounding pavement. They lift the part of the road where the magnet is attached, dragging it with the car across the street. Crescent loops the alley, stopping behind the goose and the overturned dumpster. Like a grand slam, he smashes his shovel into the dumpster. The explosion of noise frightens the goose as it charges straight onto Kirk's coat of ice. It slips and falls before hunkering on the ice to stabilize itself.
And that's how we do it on Dust Bowl.
Just as Helius lifts the hovercraft to throw, a wave of venomous nausea hits. They attempt to stand strong even as their vision blurs. Objects in Helios' vision contort as the alleyway bleeds white, with sprouting wires of various reds, blues, greens, and blacks. What once was dirty and decrepit becomes sterile and static. Helios freezes with fear. They grit their teeth, push through the pain, and caber-toss the vehicle.
The hovercraft spins through the air, gaining speed as it flies towards the unsuspecting monster. The goose's head rises at the last moment. A loud crash echoes as the creature suddenly tumbles, falling head first to the ground. After a few moments of silence, the crew cautiously approach. The goose has died. Act 5. Crescent doesn't have a jaw, but if he did, it would have just hit the floor. This is the crew's first success in a long time. For Crescent, this is no victory. Crescent falls to his knees and drops his shovel. He slowly turns to the team responsible.
I'm sorry. The car was heavy at the base, and I wasn't trying to kill it, but it went up, and I already...
Crescent takes a long exhale before grabbing his shovel. He pats the goose's head and heads towards the back of the alley.
Helios hesitates as Kirk approaches, shaking off the venomed vision. As Kirk patches Helios' wound, surprised by their sudden recovery, he spots a tattoo through the torn sleeve. His curiosity is piqued, and he tilts their arm to study the strange markings. The teenager defensively rotates their arm away. Kirk continues to patch their arm, now under Helios' intense gaze.
Crescent and Madi-Xi stop at the only Art alive, unconscious.
Pay up, Nix. That's 3.
Damn it.
Madi-Xi grabs the torso of the creature expectantly. Crescent, however, catches a glimpse of something shiny behind the alleyway, abandoning Xi. As Crescent rounds the corner, his excitement becomes a rising symphony.
Oh my stars, is that
Are you fucking serious? Are you actually fucking serious?
We see a large golden egg, 3 feet in height. It reflects the neon lights of the bright city.
a golden egg? I found an egg! I scared it with my shovel and it laid an egg!
Crescent attempts to grab the golden egg. He's unable to, before he rushes to the front of the alleyway, straight past Madi-Xi.
Guys, this is the best day ever! It laid a golden egg!
That's really great and all, but do you mind?
Nah, I don't mind at all.
Crescent stands perfectly still, smiling wide.
Goobrain, do you mind helping me?
Oh, well, you should have said something. I really value clear communication, so maybe that's something we can work on.
Madi-Xi rolls her eyes. Crescent and Madi-Xi drag the Art out of the alleyway and past the large 15-foot goose.
I'll contact Mr. Tavish and tell him the job's complete, and Elvera to prep the ship. I'd rather us not lug the creature around. It might scare the locals.
Crescent ventures back to the egg, struggling to push it.
I really am sorry, Crescent. Can I help you?
Are you kidding? You just break it in two and then I'd have nothing.
I can be careful. I will be careful. I promise.
Swear on it all you like. Fuck you.
Fuck you, fuck me, ass, shit, dick, piss, cock, damn, fuck. There's me swearing on it. Let me help.
Excuse me, that is not what it means. Fine. You know what? Since you killed our only shot at getting more, you might as well carry the one left.
Crescent, be nice.
Bless your squills, I am being exceedingly nice. You know, I actually can carry it. I'm just being nice and making him do it. You know, 'cause I'm nice.
Helius picks up the egg to load it onto the ship. The camera pans out above the city. Exterior, only 43 Shipport, evening. We cut to an hour later in the shipyard with the contact.
Here is your one creature, the one you definitely started with.
I appreciate your efforts. I mean, more so that you fought a goose. Those creatures lurk outside the city, but sometimes traverse the roofs when food is scarce. They're quite the problem outside the borders.
Are you telling me that the geese on your planet lay golden eggs?
Yes, they have nests of hundreds of golden eggs. If they feel endangered, they often leave people there. But if they're killed, their nests are lost forever.
Well, that's sad. Helius, you dumb wit.
The car's trajectory threw me off.
What the hell does trajectory have to do with you throwing a car at it?
I'm assuming if the goose was here, it came after the rest for food. It most likely would have taken you to its nests. And that could set anyone up for life.
The camera locks on Helius and Crescent. Crescent doesn't break eye contact with the contact as Helius looks at him.
Well, that's just mighty unfortunate, ain't it?
I suppose it is. Anyway, I'll be off. I've sent payment to your boss to distribute among you 5.
The contact snaps his fingers. His crew grab the Arn's cage and drag it onto his ship. Captain Elvera approaches, a wide smile on her face as she crosses her arms.
I heard the mission was successful, and the least amount of collateral damage so far. Baby steps.
We killed a goose and destroyed a...
Nix immediately covers Crescent's mouth to stop him speaking. Crescent has no mouth, so he simply continues.
street, and Helius and I got poisoned, but Kirk says we won't start dying for another few minutes.
Crescent's just joking. We did what we were supposed to, and we did not kill a goose.
Oh, right. My bad. Sorry. Helius killed the goose.
I know he's not joking about the goose in the street. That's still the least amount of collateral you've caused in a while, which should speak parsecs about your track record. At least you stopped it to prevent it from causing more harm. It was causing harm, right?
Terrible.
It was causing harm, so they made it
Yes.
stop causing harm.
Everything went accordingly, just as intended.
Not that I hear that often enough.
Elvera turns back towards the ship. Madi-Xi quickly jogs to catch her, following up the ramp.
Captain, were you serious about ditching me?
I mean, I'm not kicking you off today, that's for sure. You did just fine.
Madi-Xi pauses on the ramp. Elvera clocks her stall, and her expression softens.
Oh, come on, Zai. I'm not gonna ditch you. I mean, God knows I can't do the math. I really value your input and company. Besides, if I ditched you, hell if I know where to go without you.
Elvera offers a soft smile before turning to walk away. The moment Elvera isn't looking, Madi-Xi silently celebrates.
That is not an excuse for you to not do things. I will learn the stupid math if you're not making rent.
Elvera makes it to the top of the ramp. After a beat, she sticks her head out the ship from the ramp.
Crescent? Wasn't that poison labeled lethal?
Oh, shit.
Kirk snatches Helius and Crescent, dragging them onto the ship. Everyone follows as the ship closes its ramp and rises into the sky. It leaves the bright cityscape and soars back into space.
Interior, the Star Serpent ship medbay, night. Kirk scrambles around the medical bay, mixing an anti-venom. Helius stands, uncomfortable but seemingly not poisoned.
Kirk, I just told you I don't need your help.
No, you're not all better. Sit. Humans can't magically metabolize venom out of their systems.
I do.
Do not take me for a fool, and don't make yourself an idiot. Sit. I've studied humanoid biology longer than you've been alive, since clearly you're still going through puberty. I'm the one with the medical degree.
I'm the one with the body. I say with full certainty that I know what's best for me.
Helius, I'm not about to have you die because you were too stupid to get scanned. Get in the bioscanner.
Kirk, I don't think this is a good idea. I really don't think you want to do this.
No, you're the one who doesn't want to. I let you refuse the physical because I was trying to be nice and respect your boundaries. As your crewmate and your friend, I'm asking you to trust me to keep you alive.
Helius stares Kirk down. Then, without warning, Helius huffs and moves towards the scanner, dropping in any accessories in a nearby tray, such as a bracelet and earrings. Kirk slides to the console and fiddles with the controls as the scan starts. After a minute, the scanner stops with a chime. Kirk's concern melts into confusion as Helius steps out, visibly aggravated.
We might have to go again. I think my scanner might have malfunctioned. You are far too young to have this concentration of scar tissue.
Are we done?
You've got massive sections of your body missing. Almost 2/3.
2/5. Are you finished?
And your blood content. If I were to draw blood, I don't know if it would come out as bio-waste or gasoline.
Helius is silent, but visibly angrier, drawing closer to Kirk.
No, it could be shrapnel. I don't know why we'd call you a meathead with this much metal in your blood.
Enough!
These materials couldn't have occurred naturally. You must have been made in a lab.
Helius's fist snaps forward and shatters the console screen completely. There's a long silence.
I think you might be right. Your scanner must have malfunctioned.
Maybe. Maybe you're right. But you know, I always try to look for the silver lining in these situations. Maybe I just needed an excuse to get a new scanner.
Helius weighs their next move, their eyes twitching in anger.
You don't know where I've been, or what I've seen, or what I've done, what I will do. And I don't want to do those things. I'm exactly what you see. Nothing less. Don't ever speak to me like that again.
Suddenly, Crescent enters the room. The tension is thick enough for even him to notice. Helius looks to Crescent, back to Kirk, and storms out.
Wait, did Helius just break your... Wait, Helius, did you break his scanner? Are you fucking kidding me?
Crescent chases after Helius, yelling the whole time.
Just as the medical bay door shuts, a smile grows on Kirk's face, one that does not meet his eyes.
Well, that's not legal.
He proceeds into his dimly lit room, holding the accessory tray in his good hand. He opens a hidden drawer filled with hundreds of trinkets, multiple of Nyx's lighters, Madi-Xi's notebook of calculations, Crescent's slimy wrench. He roots through the drawer and grabs a recording device, clicking record.
Log date. 427-3115. My dissertation just walked through the door. Ruined my scanner, actually. I never thought that I would find any use from this ship other than extra time. But here I am. I will need more observation. But I am quite patient. And I have plenty of time to study before I make my next move. Game on, metalhead.
His Frankenstein arm carefully plucks and drops in a bracelet with intricate lines, wires, and lights, belonging to Helius.
Interior, the Star Serpent ship hallway, night. We cut to an argument that fades in from the background as Crescent and Helius yell outside the medbay.
Cargonia is a sovereign nation. It's our land, and we can do whatever the dusty hell we want in that bay.
You can't restrict me just because I made a mistake or two. Besides, ships are private property, and space is international territory, so I could just break open the door if I wanted to.
A threat! I cannot believe your stupid ass threatening a foreign entity. I've had it with you, Quarter Pint.
Quarter pint isn't even an insult because it's for measuring things.
Crescent simply raises his hands and disengages. The camera follows Crescent toward the cargo bay door. The same sign remains plastered to the door. Crescent yanks it open and slams it shut. The door opens from the inside and Crescent grabs the sign outside, hastily etching into existence the third law of Cargonia. 1. All citizens must be armed with an official Cargonian weapon. Example, a metal pipe, rebar, baseball bat, shovel, or plank of wood. 2. No tables. 3. No Helius. Crescent slams the door shut. Helius stands in the doorway, squinting their eyes to read the sign. Nyx walks up from behind.
Oh, hey Nyx. How was the mission with Zai?
Genuinely nice. We get along well. How was hanging with Crescent and Kirk?
We don't get along well. Crescent doesn't get me. Kirk doesn't like me either.
Crescent's old-fashioned, and Kirk's very particular.
Nyx, I broke Kirk's scanner. Like, really destroyed it.
What? What happened?
He said things that are true, but that aren't me. Things that no one should know, and now he does.
Sounds like Kirk. He's pretty nosy, and even worse, he loves to antagonize. But he's a doctor, and I'm sure he means well.
The way he looked at me, it wasn't curiosity. It was like a hunger. Nyx, I don't think he does.
Then, I trust you. If you say Kirk's being a freak, then I trust you. I'll speak to him and keep an eye on you.
Wait. Look, whatever he says, I just want you to know, I don't want you to think differently.
Kid, I don't need to know anything about you to be your friend and your crewmate. I don't know what happened with Crescent, or even more so Kirk. You should never feel like you have to change or tell me anything. You saved our lives with that car. Not that I need to know how. But don't ever silence your generator. Your fire, your fuel, it's yours. You don't need to change it. Your casing, the world, they will change for you. Keep it hot and well maintained, and I promise you'll be okay.
Okay. Thanks, Nyx. Can I ask you a question?
Shoot. Yes, you can answer. Don't shoot me.
I can't read. What does this say?
Oh. Banned from the sovereign nation of Cargonia. Hope you like sneaking through vents, because you're blocked from the only entrance to the ship. You should add your name to the appeal docket. I hear legal matters take a long time to address in Cargonia.
Helius is completely stunned as Nyx tucks his hands in his pocket and walks away. The end.